10,
9, 8,
7,
6,
3, 2,
1.
0.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome one and all to this exciting Walker Tier Dash League Season 6 match between two wonderful teams. We've got NOC over in the red corner. In the blue corner, still waiting for their first player to pop into the server. We have Immortal with me. Also in the booth, I am not going to be solo casting commentary today because Speed has hopped in. Go ahead and say hi, Speed.
Hello everyone.
So you just joined last season, is that right?
Yep, I joined last season, played for team.
Tell me a little bit about that. How'd you hear about Dash League, and how has your time been in the league so far?
Well, first time I heard about it and got really interested was once in a pub where I went against Suitmaker, and I absolutely got destroyed by him, and I was like, how is this guy so good? And then he just pointed me to the poster at Dash League, and so I joined.
Sweet, that's good stuff.
Yeah, and then I played for team, got to Walker finalist, and from there on, I'm now still on the same team because I kind of enjoy it. So yeah, I've been progressing really far.
Very nice. So we're having a little bit of confusion on the start of the servers here. It looks like NOC and Immortal still needed to work out the kinks of things just a little bit, but I think we're going to have a server up shortly. We were just in, I think that's going to be NOC's home server of Washington. They're going to be doing a little bit of a server switch in between, but in the meanwhile, you'll be able to, you and the audience will be able to hang out with the two of us here in the commentary booth while we're figuring this stuff out.
Yep, I look forward to it.
Yeah. So you haven't, how was, what team were you on last season? I can't recall off the top of my head.
It's team.
Oh, you were on team.
Yep.
Yeah. What, do you have any heavy weapons pickups that you generally like to go for?
Not really. I'm a pistol player.
Oh, okay. Generally a little bit more disruptive.
Not anymore. I kind of retired from that.
Oh. What do you do now?
I'm first to cards for my team.
Oh. Same as me.
But it's for a good reason, I swear.
What's that?
So we got new players, and I kind of just want to let them, explore, let them get that, killer feeling, doing all the cool stuff and getting camera time. So I'll just hang on the cart and do that stuff, because I feel like I'm way more objective focused than most of my team.
Fair enough. It's definitely a difficult job sometimes because it's not very flashy at all. You're not going to be high up on the scoreboard, but it's
Definitely.
such an important job.
It's a really important job, and that's why I'm willing to risk, the camera time and all that flashy stuff for something way more important.
And if they have a side camera that's always focused on the cart, then you actually will get a lot of camera time, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Have you been using shields at all? That seems like something that may end up getting picked up more and more often throughout the season. Starting to notice some players picking that up more and more, and I have been too. And a decent amount of EU players I've noticed have done that for a while now, especially on Fear, for example.
Yeah, I have started picking up shields just around last season's finals, where we had made the new strat for our finals using shields. So I now implemented that in this current season. Started using shields upside down and all of that.
Ooh, upside down.
Yeah, apparently it's really good, and I can see why.
Yeah, having that wider base down at your legs where the model's wider and being able to see over it so much easier. I can see how that's useful, but you really gotta kind of break your wrist to do that, don't you?
Actually, that was at the beginning, but now it's really not a problem.
Really? Have you just gotten
Yeah,
more flexible or found
yeah,
the right position?
apparently. Yeah, my wrists are pretty flexible.
Sweet.
And,
I'll
and
be. Go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, sorry. And it's also because of the new Hyperdash update where it allows you to now adjust the vertical side for the hands, if you know
What?
what I mean.
What do you mean? Adjust the vertical side of the hands?
Uh, there's the horizontal settings for
Oh,
the hands
of the gun angle.
and the vertical one. Yes, the gun angles.
Oh, you're right. That would affect the shield. I haven't actually thought about that much.
Yeah, there's a lot of tinkering in my settings.
What if you don't mind me asking, what gun angle do you play with?
Oh, let me see if I can remember this. I think it's 7.
7. Oh, pretty close to the neutral 0, huh?
Yeah,
I guess that angle would be pretty helpful for the upside down shield. I play with a much higher angle because that just works for my pistol hold, but maybe I'll try that out.
Well, I mean, it's only because, I mean, everybody has their own different, the way they play and how comfortable they feel. So it's different for everybody.
Yeah, fair enough. Apologies in the audience that this is turning a little bit into the Speed Notgollum podcast, but that's just the way of things while we're on the lookout for that server here. But, I'm really enjoying talking to you so far, Speed.
Same here, but I cannot wait for the match to start. I'm really excited to see NOC versus Immortal.
Mm-hmm. Have you been, I assume you've been watching some of the other matches that have happened this season. We don't want to go into any specifics in case we spoil something about a specific match, but what have you been thinking about the Launchpad Waterway cycle that we're currently in?
Well, we definitely been practicing on our team for the last couple of weeks. Getting the hang of it, but practice takes a lot and a lot of patience, so there's that. But in terms of maps, I quite enjoy Launchpad, so I think it's a good map. However, I do not like Waterway. I'm more of a Quarry type player.
Yes, finally. I love Quarry.
I love Quarry also, and that's what we did for our finals on team. Everybody was asking why we kept picking Quarry, and we just it was good. But yeah.
Okay, I think I've found the server.
Oh, okay. That's good.
So 1 second, I'll just be hopping in. And then we can hop on over and get this started.
So, what's everybody's doing up?
Turn the volume down just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. There we go. Alright. This looks great.
Looks like NOC hasn't got their full lineup yet. But Moral seems to have, so wonder if they're waiting on for NOC.
I think they were waiting for me, except NOC still needs one more player before they have their full 5. It would be really unfortunate for their first, or for their first map against each other to be a 4v5. That's definitely not.
Yeah, that I can agree. But I hope that they do. What are the lineups for Immoral? So, for Immoral, we have Aspie, Agent Bread, Small Quad, Ymir, and it's Rocket for Immoral. For NOC, we have Brevet, Panda, McLovin, and Bugahad. And we're still waiting for one more player.
And then you've got Bot Jonathan over in the corner, hanging out, doing some work at that bot
Yep.
riding. I think bot riding is one of my favorite lobby activities. I've been seeing a lot of people trying to practice recently. It's surprisingly difficult. At least it is for me. I don't know if there's any special techniques I don't know about yet. But just it's hard to stay on with the way these 3D models work and how you have to move in real life for VR playing too.
Yeah, I can see.
It's not like you could just press a couple keys on the keyboard and stay right on top of it. But in general, I've said this before, I'll say it again, I'll say it every time if I need to. I just love VR competitive sports. I especially love this game just with the way that people can be so expressive. That it's not even just like about the voice chat, but moving people's bodies around, seeing their hands in their head. You can really get a sense for everybody's individual ways of expressing themselves, and it's very easy to kind of recognize different players by the way that they stand, the way that they move, and I think that's really fun and really important.
Yep, I can agree with this. I have noticed some people were aliasing, and I can tell by their body how their body moves and all of that in their play styles. So yeah, it makes it feel more personalized.
Absolutely. Well, we do have a 15-minute timer for the start of the match, where the teams will unfortunately be required to start the next map, and I think we've hit that 15 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and ping the captains and let them know that we got to get going.
Alright.
Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and start a little bit of a poll. Who you think might end up taking this first map? Unfortunately, if it ends up being a... Wait. Did NOC lose another player? Oh, no. They've only got 3 players? And they're starting it? Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
Oh, this is... At least we know who's going to be on cart, huh?
Yeah. Oh, no. I wonder if their headsets died, or it could be a connection issue.
Hopefully not. I know NOC's been around for a season and Immortal is technically new, but NOC just does not at all seem ready for this in the way that Immortal is taking this seriously. And I think that this might even count as a forfeit. We'll go ahead and stream this game, and assuming Immortal's good for playing it anyways, but it's possible the results of this may end up just being a forfeit. Either way, the fact that the team in blue only has 3 active actual players is really going to hold them back a little bit. So far, they're making some decent movement on the cart, though. We do see a little bit of inconsistency as a result of having to depend on bots for some of your cart movements, since you really want the actual active players to be the ones moving forward. For that reason, the bot easily got taken out by small quad, whereas the player was able to take out small quad. And some rockets starting to set up in the shield are forcing the players on blue to hop off of that cart and reducing the movement of the objective. Once again, Jonathan and Jordy not showing up the way that they need to. I don't see them at all on this cart. But I do see a lot of Immortals starting to set up with those heavy weapons. I like SMGs here because they can take out players very easily if you lock down a long sightline or get several of those first shots off. Good kill by Panda, though. Does take out those heavy weapons. The cart is getting double stacked as well with a bot and a player. The bot does get taken out, though. That's going to be some free movement of the cart. No longer in blue team's favor. Top of the hill, 4 minutes, 28 seconds. If the cart keeps moving with some consistency, even if it's bots, they can make it to the bottom of this hill with a decent time, but the closer and closer it gets to red team spawn, the worse and worse it's going to start looking for NOC. And the cart already has been full stopped for about 20 seconds, just because NOC has not been able to get a player or a bot onto the cart. Now we have a bot with a shield on there. Good to see it. But the rockets are set up for Immortal. Looks like the rockets got taken out.
Asian Bread seems a little bit lost. But they seem to be in the flank area, clearing it. Oh, but gets taken out by Trevette. Trevette now getting the dash. Making his way, but gets taken down by Small Quad. Small God waiting for some health while the Rocketeer rockets the cart. Firing the main realm, very nice. Okay. Gets taken out by Bugahud. A little bit of chasing, but you really need to get that cart focus. Oh, cart got down. Let's see. Somebody's on cart, very nice.
Oh,
but
wow, what a rocket. Didn't
that
get
was
the kill, but
yeah. It was really close, but he successfully dodged it.
yeah, it's still a difficult angle to hit consistently, especially when you're hitting it in that straight line the way that that Rocketeer is. Who's the Rocketeer here? I'm going to change to that POV. I think that's Emir. No, there we go.
Oh.
It's Rocket. Wow, what a name. You pointed it out earlier, but I didn't realize that was going to be so on the nose.
Neither did I.
I love that they have the
Although it
golden
does-
rockets too.
I still don't have the golden rockets.
It's the testament of a true Rocketeer.
And I can see why. He's doing really good. But I wonder what Knock is doing. Seems to getting some control.
It's a good play by It's Rocket backing up like that. Unfortunately, they were in an exposed position without enough support to stay alive. Good thing that Immortal had a second Rocketeer that prevented a little bit of cart movement, but now the cart is moving up again, and Agent Bread gets the kill needed to get more of a hold here. Let's go ahead and swap to bot Jonathan POV. There we go, taken out. Good kill by Bugahud. This is the opportunity to start putting some pressure on those rockets who are taking out the cart so consistently. It's Rocket looking like the player to beat for the team in blue. Really, that's the very important thing about Rocketeering. Not just avoiding getting killed, but hitting the cart consistently. That is what's more important. That is the reason that you want to be dashing around all over the place and hiding behind your team, is so you can hit the cart consistently. Ultimately, that's what's important, and that's what I'm seeing out of It's Rocket. But still, the objective focus out of NOC, despite only having 3 players, is commendable. We're at 1 minute, and we're within sight, within reach of the checkpoint here. Immortal struggling just a little bit to keep this hold going.
Knock seems to be doing a really great job at getting the cart to the checkpoint, but with a little bit more consistency, I'm sure they will be able to reach it. Looks like McLaughlin is getting a flank here, gets a kill very nicely. Looking for another one, gets the other one. very nicely.
Good follow-up on the objective too by McLovin, trying to keep it clear. And the card is triple stacked, trying to make it through this checkpoint. Getting wiped out, and they're almost through with 22 seconds left. There we go, that's a checkpoint.
Wow, and that's impressive. Really impressive. Even with 3 people.
Notgollum
Oh,
is
wait.
doing a fantastic job of working together on this. They know the pressure is on, and they are showing up for it. Good kill by Small Quad, though, with the SMGs. That is going to be the player to take out for Team NOC if they're able to stay locked in on this long sightline and not get taken out by flankers like Trevette there. Good kill out of Trevette.
Seems that NOC has recovered one of their players, being McLovin. So that's really good. Maybe that's why he got the checkpoint over there, which is nicely. Bugahot going on a killing spree, very nicely, getting the dash. Looks like they got total control of Triangle. Triangle is just being filled. Look at them. Looks like red team got control again, but whoever that may be under the health ledge seems to get a group up with somebody, gets control of it, but gets taken out. Somebody in the shotgun area pushes up the triangle very nicely. Good. Flanks the player by the health ledge.
What I'm noticing now that NOC has their 4th player in, their 4th real player in, the cart has basically been completely untouched by Immortal. They have not had an opportunity to even really approach it until the cart starts hitting this triangle room. Now it has been stopped because they took out that bot, but NOC is playing together very well. They have some very good coordination that is allowing them to stay in this match, and not even that, but look pretty dominant at this point, despite the lower real player count.
Indeed, but looks like they seem to get some control of the area while Immortal tries to get that control as well. But it looks like the Rockets got taken down, and it looks like they're making their way to cart from what I can see. Starting to get that triangle control. Car is still moving. Very consistent, but it looks like it got taken down. Oh, another one on it. Oh, that was a nice pick by the cart, but then gets taken down.
Good flank with the Rockets. Oh,
very nicely.
the Rockets are
Nice.
still alive too. That's very important.
Yep, you really need to get those rockets up and make sure that they're alive and protect them. Looks like McLovin got the triangle dash, making their way to cart. Oh, but gets taken down by its rocket with his golden rockets, making show and use of them.
The cart has not been moving a whole lot for the past 30 or so seconds. I think NOC is giving a lot of respect to this Rocketeer, but also really trying to focus in on these group pushes, which is exactly what you want to do when the Rockets are in such a protected position.
Indeed. Rockets being behind that back and being able to hit the cart from that far away is really dangerous. So I would really want to see a NOC player being able to get those rockets taken down, making that more cart progress. But they just can't seem to be able to get all the way there to the bunker for the rockets. But looks like Immortal's starting to get some control of Triangle, making sure that NOC doesn't get past. Looks like somebody's on cart. Gets a pick. It's back on cart, but I think... Oh, they're still alive. Bugahud. Very low on health. Gets the
Little bit of a
health.
fight here. Oh, does get wiped. The cart's not moving though. And that flanker got killed as well, so the Rockets, if they're up, can stay up.
Looks like there's some cart progress very nicely. This is really good by NOC. This cart consistency is really good.
Yeah, we're at about the 86% mark with still 1 minute and 45 seconds on the clock. 86% generally the standard you expect for two relatively equal teams to be holding each other at. That's about the benchmark that you want to see. And we still have plenty of time to exceed that mark if NOC gets a couple good pushes in a row. But they've been held for quite a while at this point. So I'm worried about their chances of making it that much farther, especially if they're able to make it to the bend in front of Aspie. You can see there, if the cart faces towards the red team's spawn, then that shield on the front of the cart's really going to help to protect those blue players riding on the cart, force Immortal to move much further out of their spawn and spend a lot more time trying to clear that cart, as opposed to just shooting it from spawn.
Right, let's see. Aspie going back to the cart, making sure that it's still down. Looks like there's 2 players on cart. One more on cart, but looks like he got taken down by rockets. Trevet now making his way back to the objective. Going through shotgun. Bugahut making his way through triangle. Gets the health. Looks like there's a natural group up here by NOC. Let's see how they're gonna use it.
They are getting flanked through this triangle room just a little bit. So this cart movement might not be super significant, but there's still a couple players out of NOC left alive around the objective. The bot does get taken out, unfortunately, but a little bit of a fight here in the shotgun alley is going to provide a good distraction for some further cart movement with a double stack and still multiple players by NOC alive around the cart. The rockets get taken out, and we're around the corner, and there's still 2 players left alive here with the rest of NOC desperately trying to stream in. Immortal does win in the overtime, though.
That was really good. Progress there. I liked how they did that group up and getting that just a bit more of a push for the last few seconds, all the way to 90%.
Prepare to start.
But now they have switched over, so we're gonna see Immortal now on blue team and NOC on red team. So let's see, Bugahut getting those rockets. And the other players setting up. Looks like Trevet is getting shocks. Really interested in seeing how this will go.
Oh,
With
McLovin
Lovin
with
with
rocket
Pulse.
too.
Oh, interesting. Maybe they're sharing rockets. The more the merrier.
A lot of pressure on this
Oh.
objective here, but NOC playing it very close to the chest in this house, trying to force Immortal to move out of position and expose that cart, but a lot of Immortal is playing together, clears out the house too, and now it's just NOC, the team in red, streaming down this main rail, so Immortal really only has one direction they need to be looking right now. And that's something that's really going to bite NOC in the back, is having a bot when you're blue means you have somebody who will eventually go to the objective and onto the cart, but by no means is a red team's bot going to be headed straight for that objective. Can they be depended on to stay on that objective or stay in a good position to take out the blue team like they can when the bot is on the blue team? When they're on blue team, you can rely on them to ride the cart and then keep forward pressure so the bot doesn't get taken out. But on red, who knows what bot Jordy's going to be doing, and that is really going to hurt NOC here. But so far, Immortal very tentative to hop on that objective and die on that objective because they're losing a lot of ground to these 4 NOC players who are still active and alive around the cart. We're looking at some pretty equivalent time here, even a little bit of cart stacking by red to try and slow that objective down, because as long as the red player's on the cart, it's not going to move, but good timing for a double and triple stack here since all of NOC got wiped and now they're just trying to recover space. Good combo play there, taking out players on the main rail. Bugahut trying to set up with some rockets as well. Some very long-ranged rockets. What was that?
That was perhaps a plan he was having. Not really sure, but it looks like Immortal is starting to get some control of that card, but it looks like it got down. Not making their way to the objective. Gets a pick. Panda. Very nice.
And good rockets too, taking out that cart. Now it's really in Immortal's ballpark whether they're going to be able to move together as a team in the way that they need to get to take this objective back, because they are getting outkilled player for player, at least by NOC just a little bit. That's why they're at the bottom of this hill with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. But as long as Immortal plays together, they can use their numbers to their advantage, because that bot Jordy is just not going to be doing a whole lot here.
Seems that Immortal is trying to clear up the area, making sure that car can safely move, but not really giving them a hard time. Looks like Immortal has some shocks up, which can slow down the progress of NOC being able to take down card, but looks like they did it. Let's see how Immortal is gonna be able to get that control back. Looks like there's a group up going. Let's see. Are they gonna get a pick? Oh, gets taken out by Trevette. Card's still moving. This is really good progress by Immortal. But it seems that card got taken down. So now it looks like Naka's. They're gonna set up their defenses. Gets a pick.
Whoa, good double kill by Small Quad though. Completely wiping those remaining red players off the objective and now moving forward. Did not have a teammate follow up on the card immediately, but crossed out McLovin, forced them to use up dashes, and then took them out on the cart. And the cart is still flying with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left to go, way ahead of NOC's pace at this point in the map. The cart does get wiped, but it's Rocket alive with the rockets, takes out the bot, but does not get any sort of objective movement, and the rest of Immortal now streaming into the cart at the exact same time as the team in red, who is set up with rockets, is stacking the objective, but at this point, they're really just playing for time. And just trying to delay the cart as much as they can, because it's almost inevitable at this point that Immortal will make it through that checkpoint. But with the way things are going, it's possible they'll make it through with a very similar, if not a slightly slower, pace compared to Team NOC, which was about 30 seconds left on the clock when they made it through that objective. Bot Jordy not doing a whole lot for the team in red. Does have 5 kills overall, so for a bot, pretty respectable, but I think I do have a couple bots that are a little bit more favorites of mine that I tend to believe in. Well, Aspie, the last one left alive, does get taken out, and now NOC has control of the space once again because they have that spawn advantage.
1 minute remaining.
I want to see how Immortal is gonna do these last few pushers, but looks like they're gonna get checkpoint. Very nicely done. Now let's see, what are they gonna do now? Looks like 3 of them are pushing up through shotgun. Oh, I know. There's okay, I see. One pushing shotgun and one pushing shield. Looks like there's a fight in shield going on. Looks like somebody gets a pick. Now, cart's still moving with this really good progress. Somebody in shotgun. Let's see this fight going. Oh, looks like they missed them. They went straight for cart. Cart's not getting any progress, but didn't get down, so it's gonna continue that progress. Looks like they're double stacking. This is really good time for Immortal. Well, let's see Trevette, what are they gonna do to prevent this? Oh, it looks like they got taken out by its rocket. Getting in a fight with McLovin, gets taken out by Small Quad. Small Quad now in triangle, getting that dash. Making sure that they don't get their resources. Gets taken out by Panda though. Looks like Car is already at the ramp. Getting good progress. NOC really trying to get that control of the space and succeeding almost. Just looks like there's somebody disrupting. Car's not been moving for a bit, but I think that's fine. Now they're starting to get control. Very good. Okay.
Cart's moving very consistently at the top of this hill. This is a little bit of a make or break point in my experience for teams. How you're going to try and stop this cart at this point in the map where the spawn advantage starts to switch towards red. Is NOC going to get more of a solid hold and then keep up that hold for a long time, disrupt Immortal's group ups? Or is it just going to continue to work in the team in blue's favor to stream into this cart 1 or 2 players at a time and not really pause for any sort of group, not give NOC any amount of breathing room? So far, most of Immortal getting wiped out, but still 1 player left alive on the bridge. I think that was Emir. does get taken out eventually, or maybe that was Agent Bread. They are second from the top killing for their team, and riding that objective too. They've made it to the 77% mark at this point. Cart briefly getting stopped, but Immortal staying laser focused on that objective, and Nock in the meantime does not have the attention to spare, and the cart is continuing forward. The bot getting taken out. It's Rocket on the cart with rockets too, surprisingly effective as a cart defense tool for the team in blue, since you can shoot around the cart at angles where enemy players on red might be trying to jump at you. But it looks like a little bit of a hold has started for Nock, but just not quite enough of the fights are being taken on the cart itself. You need to have somebody on your team at this point in the map, so late in the map where your spawn is so close to it when you're red. You need to have at least one player fighting on it so that the cart does not move. These micro pushes are something that have been accruing over time for Immortal, and it looks like Immortal with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left is well ahead of the pace that Nock was at this point in the map. And the cart is still continuing to move forward with some players on Nock skipping past it to try and disrupt a group push, but Immortal continuing to flood in and push their advantage. Nock has lost one more player there, down to 2 bots. Once again, Jordy, since the checkpoint, only getting one more kill. It is not looking great for Nock. I have seen some insane holds here for red teams of upwards of 3 minutes, if not more, sometimes at this point in the map once you get a solid hold set up. But with the player count being so in Immortal's favor, it is just very, very dire circumstances for the team in red.
Seems that Nock has lost another player, so they're back to 3v5ing. But looks like Immortal getting that few bits of pushes, making their way to cart. Agent Bread making their way through shotgun flank, trying to make sure they got enough dashes for cart. Gets taken out by McLovin. McLovin now fighting on cart, gets a pick on small quad. Goes back for health. Looks like somebody's on car fighting. Oh, are those offensive rockets? That's really... It's an interesting tool to use on blue side. I haven't found it very successful for my end of part, but whatever works for anybody. So, gets a pick on cart. Oh, but it seems that Immortal just won the match for payload. All they have time is for a MMR, so let's see how this is gonna end. Nock having a really solid hold, Trivet pushing up for that extra space. Trivet now pushing in a triangle. Not sure what he's hitting now. He's going back into triangle, now chasing its rocket. Gets in a fight with small quad, gets that pick. Cart's not been moving for a while. This is really good. Fighting from card, making sure that the objective doesn't move. Also saves MMR for Nock. Looks like offensive rockets are set up again. Looks like they're doing a group up, going for card. Getting a pick. Fighting from card, this is really nice for Nock, but looks like Immortal didn't get that push they quite wanted.
We do have a flank out of small quad though, getting a little bit of movement, but getting taken out by Trivet. I got a little bit excited there. I thought some free sneaky movement was going to go ahead in Immortal's favor. They have won this map, and I think this map may end up counting as a forfeit regardless. Nock did get their 4th player back in, so we'll just depend on that decision after this match has concluded, but it is not looking good for map 2, which will be Waterway. Immortal wins map 1 Launchpad, 92.99%, almost 93, just not quite, versus Nock's 90. Let's go ahead and take a look at those scoreboards here. Top scoring, top killing as well for
Oh.
red team, for NOC, is Trevette. 82 kills, 50 deaths, 9,500 score over on Immortal. Top scoring for the team is Agent Bread, just barely passing that 8,000 score mark. Meanwhile, Small Quad, 65 kills, 63 deaths, almost at that 8,000 point mark. Top killing for Immortal. Well done. You know,
Hello, everyone.
hello Shingeki. Welcome into the booth. You've been watching this, keeping up with this match so far?
Just saw the last minute. So yes, I saw that NOC was playing with the bot. So they should have turned the bot off actually for the match, which is not good. But like you were saying, if they don't go, they don't have fifth player for the second map, it's just a forfeit. That would be a shame actually.
Mm-hmm. It's a bit of a difficult situation to be in because you do want to play every time you can. This is ultimately a community league, but some amount of fairness has to be enforced as well. So it was nice that we get to watch something, but we'll be waiting and seeing what the decision on this is later, and it's pretty likely that NOC may end up having to forfeit regardless. They do have 4 players in though, and they have gotten rid of the bots as well, as far as I can tell, for this waterway, this second map here. Since this cycle is all Launchpad waterway and then Stadium control point as a tiebreaker.
Looks like Immortal and NOC have decided to be a 4v4.
Oh, okay.
Don't is it allowed to, because normally it's like you have 5 of you, you don't have I don't know if the rule changed for this season, but last season was you need to have 5 player for starting a map. If not, it's forfeit for the team who doesn't have the 5 players. 4v4 is not was not allowed last season, so I'm not sure if this has changed, but if not, I don't think 4v4 though. So if they start a 4v4, I don't think what the board will decide, but they could just forfeit for both teams, which would be a shame. We actually have been asked last week from because Emu play against Immortal last week, and they have some trouble of players. They can with 4v4 and said no, we can't. But they finally found a 5th player, so that was okay. But for now, I don't know if it's allowed to do 4 versus 4.
Seems that Immortal also dropped another player. I wonder what's going on. Are headsets dying? Oh, never mind, they're back.
There we go. It got that 5th player out of Immortal.
Okay. Now, I wonder if they're talking about strats, or I wonder what they're doing. But it seems that they're getting the hang of it. I'm really excited to see this waterway from both teams. Looks like they got their 5th player back. Rafiki previously was on Fair.
Oh,
This is really interesting to see.
Thank you, Tim F. It looks like, reading through the rules once again, to be clear, you must bring 5 players to a match. If you drop somebody in the middle of a match, that is one thing, but not even starting out with a full 5 players on your team is going to count as a forfeit. This will be fun to watch, no doubt. NOC had a pretty strong performance on the previous map. It's just unfortunate they couldn't schedule a time with the full 5 players. Regardless, I'm interested to see how this is going to turn out here, since it looks like both teams are just about ready to start, just waiting for that signal from the caster.
They can start and play for fun, but it will not count for the league.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
you know, even sometimes you have this case because one player has battery died, so at least you can plug the charged cable and just join for start the map. And once the map is start, can drop out again, like you said, because it's okay to drop in once the map had started, but not before. It has to be 5 player.
Regardless, we're just waiting for a little bit of conversation between the NOC Immortal players here. And once again, I really like the expressiveness of these VR characters. Oh, we're getting started already. Okay, fantastic.
Match
There we go.
in 3, 2,
Let's take
Right,
a look at
let's
some
see.
of the rollouts here.
go.
A
Blue
little bit of a
takes
fast
C.
push and initial fight on the B button here. Immortal taking control and backpedaling just a little bit. One player starting to move in towards NOC's base. And somebody sneaking past over on that mid rail.
Red takes A.
Looks like Bugahud is in Immortal's base at the moment.
Red takes
Crossing
C.
players out. Still need control of that B button though before a countdown
Red
can
team
start.
scores
Countdown for
the
Nog.
A.
Small Quad turns around,
Counter.
does get the counter on the button, but McLovin is still
Red
alive.
team
Starts another countdown for
scores.
Nog.
Red
Does not
team
hold the button though, and a counter
scores.
does
2,
go for Immortal. Goes for the
counter.
hold. Good counter by Amir though,
Oh.
just barely in time. But
Just in
Bugahud is
time.
back. It took just a little bit
Red
too long, and
team
another
scores
countdown for Nog. We're
counter.
starting to see that overwhelming individual killing power out of Nog in comparison to a lot of these Immortal players is making it difficult for Immortal to get momentum
Blue takes
back
B.
in their favor. Immortal
Red
now has
takes
control of the
B.
B button, lost it, back to Nog, but has a player in Noc's base, has control of their base as well, but does not have that B button. Nog is just too locked in there. That moving forward, gets a kill on Aspie.
Blue
Waiting for that
team
dash to hit that button,
countered.
gets the counter.
Red
Bugahud
takes
making his
B.
way to B, gets
Blue
picked
team
by
scores
Agent
in
Bread.
countered.
McLovin getting his base back,
Blue team
looking to
scores
control,
in
but looks like
countered.
Rafiki is
Blue
their
team
base.
scores countered.
Gets taken out by Panda. Panda now pushing up to B. Gets taken out by Agent Bread,
Red takes
but gets
B.
traded by Trevette. Trevette now getting some health. Gets taken out by Rafiki. Looks like Aspie is in sub B. Rafiki now on bottom rail riding it, getting into the enemy's base. Gets taken out by Bugahud. Bugahud now pushing up to B. Tries to get a pick but kills himself.
Blue takes B. Blue team
Aspie
countered.
now
Blue team
looking to pistol
scores
snipe.
in countered.
McLovin tapping the button, getting the counter. Pistol
Blue
sniping.
team scores in
Amir
countered.
now
Countered.
getting that countdown,
Red
but it
takes
gets
B.
countered by McLovin.
Blue
Looks like
team
NOC is really
scores
pistol
in
sniping
countered.
down B.
Blue team
There
scores
seems to
in
be another
3.
countdown
Blue
for Immortal.
team countered.
Gets countered.
Immortal is getting countdown after countdown after countdown and trying to put plenty of pressure on Noc's base, but just cannot seem to bring enough players
Blue
in
team
any one
scores
moment in
in
time
3,
at the B
2,
button and in Noc's
countered.
base
Blue
to fully
team
get that countdown. They're also
scores
not
in 3,
holding the buttons nearly as
2,
much as they need to, but this
1.
might be the one.
Blue team
There we go.
wins
First
this
point
round.
goes to Immortal. So
Now-
look at those rollouts once again.
Match starts in 3, 2.
Now with Immortal getting 1
One.
point, looks
Go.
like Aspie is gonna take
Blue
bottom
takes
dash,
C.
making his way to B.
First elimination.
Doesn't go for button instantly, but gets a pick.
It's a pretty nice
Aspie
controlled
now.
push. A lot of blue players still left alive, and a countdown for Immortal. McLovin gets a kill though. That's a very important kill. Now NOC is getting a countdown. What? Where did that come from? Good headshot there as well. McLovin tearing things up in Immortal's base. Another countdown for NOC. Is this going to turn into a point? Trevette trying to hold things down over on Immortal's base. Still alive too. getting kill after kill. Immortal trying to send
Blue
multiple
takes
players at a
C.
time to different locations. Since they are player for player getting slightly outkilled by the team in red.
Blue takes B.
Bit of a
Seems
tactical play trying to
Immortal-
split up the team in red. Go ahead, Speed.
Sorry. It seems that Immortal is starting to gain that control again. Nock trying to get
Red
that B
takes B.
button, gets the button, then gets immediately countered. Looks like one of the Immortal players are making their way to Nock space, but gets taken out. One Nock player going under sub B. Looks like one Immortal player is making their
Red
way
takes
to
B.
Nock space. Wonder if they're gonna
Blue
get a
takes
pick.
A.
Then now fighting on B.
Red takes
Ymir
A.
getting those shocks ready with a dash, making his way to B. Tries to get a pick. He gets
Blue
it.
takes
Taps the
B.
button. Makes his way to the enemy's base. But gets taken out by Panda. Panda now making sure that the area is clear. Seems Nock is still struggling a bit. Get that control as Immortal keeps getting that push
Red
on
takes
their
B.
base. But looks like Immortal has
Blue
some
team's
rockets on B.
countered. Red takes B.
Looks like
Red
they
team
got
score
B. Oh,
counter-
this is a
red
countdown
team
for Nock.
score
Gets
countered.
countered. Bugha now fighting on
Blue takes C.
Immortal's base, but gets taken out by Agent Bread. Agent Bread now pistol sniping,
Red
getting that
takes
pistol
B.
sniper. Rafiki now with an interesting loadout.
Yes, interesting to see someone using rockets on Waterway.
Yeah, you don't see that a lot.
At least not on Waterway anyways.
Red
It's usually a
team
lot of just rushing
scores
forward with
3.
pistols and trying to outspeed and outkill
Blue
your
takes
opponent.
C.
I guess if you can do that with a heavy weapon pickup like the rockets and shocks, then absolutely go for it.
Red takes B. Red team countered.
This is a countdown for Nock. McLovin making his way into basement, trying to be safe. Waiting for the dash. Gets the
Red
dash.
team
Gets the
scores
the
3.
countdown.
Oh,
Two.
Is he gonna hold it?
Countered.
He's gonna hold it.
Red
Oh, but
team
gets
Oh.
countered at the last
3,
second.
2, 1.
There's another
Countered.
countdown for
Oh,
Nock.
whoa, what a
Scores
last second
3,
counter there.
2, 1. Countered.
Oh my gosh. Close encounters.
Very close
Oh.
indeed.
there was like 0.2 seconds.
That's the speed and timing that this game can sometimes come down to. This really is a fairly
Countered.
close match, all things considered. Immortal now has been on the back foot for the past minute or
Red
several
team
minutes. Really, it
scores
feels like at this
3.
point they've
Countered.
not been able to get control of their own base and the B nearly as consistently as they were that whole time they were about to get that first point that they did on this map. Something that Nock is
Blue
doing
takes B.
has changed for the better.
Red takes
And they just
B.
need to keep doing it. It seems like
Blue
Immortal's
takes
not
B.
able to adapt
Red
around whatever
takes B.
strategic play
Blue takes
Nock is
B.
going for here. Or if it's not even a strategic play, if it's just figuring out how to play around all the individual players on blue. Whatever it is, it's been working for Nock so far. And they keep getting
Red
players
takes C.
in Nock's base, or in Immortal's base, excuse me, and then Immortal turns
Blue
around. I
takes
think that's
C.
really what it
Blue
is.
team
I think Nock
scores
is getting
in
players in
3.
here,
Countered.
and
Oh,
then
yeah.
Immortal is overreacting to it, having players turn all the way around just to get their own base back
Blue
because it
team
is so
scores. Countered.
difficult. Because these Nock players
Red takes
are very
B.
good about playing around the
Red
button,
takes
like
B.
Bugahead and Trevette we've seen so far. And Trevette, meanwhile, top killing in the lobby with 37 kills by a lot.
Blue
Very
takes
impressive
B.
right now.
Red takes B.
Seems that Nock is making their way to Immortal's space. They seem to have control of B. Bughud now making
Red team
one out
scores.
Trevette.
Countered.
Trevette getting the countdown.
Blue
Gets
takes
countered by
A.
Agent Bread. Agent Bread now
Blue
looking for
team
some
scores
health.
in
Oh,
3.
there's a countdown for
Countered.
Immortal. Gets countered by Bughud. Bughud now making his way back to B, but gets taken out by Rafiki.
Blue team scores in
Aspie getting
3.
the countdown for Immortal. gets countered and then taken out by Trevette. Trevette now making sure that the area is safe from getting that counter, but it looks like he got taken out. The Noc player, not sure what I don't know if he heard the countdown, but looks like Immortal gets the countdown and gets the points.
We saw in the bottom left screen that Bugahud was stuck in Immortal's basement, couldn't make it to the button in time, and they and McLovin were the only ones left alive. That's going to be the second point for Immortal.
Match starts in 3,
Did
2.
Rafiki was look at the rest point and someone was not moving, so does that mean they're playing only with 3 players on Noc?
I am not sure.
Yes. If you look at the minimap, there is one red dot not moving.
Countered.
Oh, I see.
Blue team scores
So the
in
countdown for
3,
Blue. I don't think this is
2,
going to turn into a point though,
1.
unless Small Quad holds that button. Oh no, Bugahud missed the button. That's the third point for Immortal. Immortal wins this waterway. Did either of you get a clock the time that was at the end of that?
I think it was around like 15 minutes and 31 seconds. I could be wrong.
I got the confirmation, by the way, it was already a forfeit for Noc because they couldn't start the map with 5 players.
Yeah. So that was a fun match to watch, but unfortunately,
Yes,
Immortal
it
did win
was still
both
a
maps
nice
regardless.
match.
But that will be a double forfeit for Noc. Or from Noc, and Immortal will gain the MMR respective to that. But regardless, thank you all in the audience for coming, and also thank you to Speed and Shingeki for joining me in the commentary booth. Anything you
Sure.
guys would like to leave off with?
I
Is there
would like...
still no, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I would like to thank Notgollum for letting me commentate for this match, and good job to Immortal.
Yeah, thanks. Yes, thanks again for Notgollum for casting. And you have the next game in how many? Yeah, maybe 1 hour. Southern Cross against. Don't remember the team, but
Against
yes,
Envy.
one more game. And yeah, so interesting game is coming, and you also have later in the day or tomorrow morning, depends where you are. Emu versus Hush. The game later in the day, so two more games will happen today or in few hours. So connect to it, look at the match, and yes, thanks for watching. Subscribe, share, and like the videos.
Of course. And I will see you all in the next one.